Dogs are called man's best friend for a reason. They wag their tails when we come home, they curl up next to us on the couch, and they seem to love us no matter what. But what if the way most people show love to their dogs is actually confusing, or even stressing them out? This might sound strange, but a lot of dog trainers, behaviorists, and vets agree on one thing. Most people are petting their dogs the wrong way. And it's not just a harmless mistake. In some cases, the way you touch, talk to, or even look at your dog could be making them anxious, or even training them to ignore you. In today's video, we're diving into a side of dog behavior most people never hear about. A side the dog training world knows very well, and that might just change the way you see your dog forever. Let's start with a surprising fact. Most dogs don't like being petted on the head. That's right. Even though we see it in movies, cartoons, and probably do it without thinking, reaching down and patting a dog on the top of the head is, in dog language, actually a bit rude. To a dog, a hand coming down from above feels threatening. It's not that they think you'll hurt them, but it activates a more cautious, defensive part of their brain. In the wild, animals don't approach each other from above, predators do. That's why so many dogs flinch, turn their heads, or even walk away when someone goes straight for the head pat. Dog behaviorist Dr. Patricia McConnell puts it simply: dogs prefer to choose when and how they want to be touched. And it turns out the head is pretty low on their list. So where should you pet a dog? For most, it's the chest, the shoulders, or under the chin. Those areas are less invasive and more calming. And when you let a dog come to you first, sniff you, lean into you, give you permission, you'll notice they stay relaxed. Their eyes soften, their tail wags low and slow. That's a sign of true comfort. But there's something even more surprising. The way you pet your dog could be reinforcing bad behavior without you knowing. Let's say your dog jumps up on you every time you come home. You love it, right? It feels like they missed you. So you pet them, maybe talk in that high-pitched good boy voice, and think you're bonding. But what you're really doing is rewarding the jumping. Every time your dog gets excited and jumps, you respond with attention and affection, which tells their brain, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. Professional dog trainers have a phrase for this: what gets rewarded gets repeated. And it doesn't stop at jumping, barking for attention, whining, pawing, even anxious pacing. If the moment your dog does it, you respond with petting, baby talk, or eye contact, their brain lights up like a Christmas tree. They're not thinking, oh, I'm being comforted. They're thinking, sweet, this works. That's why top trainers like Sizer Millen, Zach George, and Victoria Stilwell all say the same thing in different ways. Affection must be given at the right time, and that timing, more than anything, is what separates a well-trained dog from a disobedient one. It's not about being cold or strict, it's about being clear. So when should you pet your dog? Here's the golden rule: reward calm, balanced behavior. When your dog is lying quietly on the floor, that's a great time for a calm stroke. When they sit on command without fuss, that's when your affection means something. It builds a pattern in their brain. Being calm and obedient makes my human happy. Acting out doesn't get me anything. And over time, this creates what's known as default calm. A dog who naturally chills out because they know that calmness gets them what they want. Not treats, not toys, your attention. But let's go one layer deeper. Dogs don't see affection the way we do. They feel it like a currency. To humans, love is about hugs, kisses, eye contact, talking. But in dog psychology, those things can have completely different meanings. Eye contact, for example, is a power move in dog language. Direct, hard stares can be seen as a challenge, especially from strangers. That's why a dog might growl or stiffen when someone they don't know stares them down, even if the person means no harm. Hugging, too, can feel restrictive to a dog. In the wild, when one animal wraps itself around another, it's often a sign of dominance or even aggression. That's why many dogs tolerate hugs, but don't actually enjoy them. Some may even growl or bite when a child hugs them tightly, not out of meanness, but out of fear. Even talking in a high, squeaky baby voice can cause confusion. To dogs, tone matters more than words. So if your voice is too excited, too high-pitched, it can actually raise their arousal levels, making them more hyper, anxious, or reactive. That's why the best dog trainers use calm, clear tones. Their movements are confident, their touch is deliberate. They treat affection like a reward, not something that's handed out 24/7. And this might be the hardest pill for dog lovers to swallow. Giving too much affection can actually make a dog insecure. It sounds backward, right? You love your dog. You want them to feel safe. So you cuddle, you talk to them constantly, you never leave their side. But dogs need structure to feel secure, not constant emotional input. If they feel like they always have to be next to you, they can develop separation anxiety. If they think you'll pet them anytime they paw at you, they can become needy. And if you always rush to soothe them when they're scared, say during a thunderstorm, you might accidentally be telling them, yes, you're right to be afraid. Balanced affection, when given at the right time, for the right reason, builds confidence. It tells your dog, I see you, I care about you, but I also trust you to handle things. And that trust, in a dog's mind, is more valuable than any treat. Constant petting isn't love, it's noise. In human relationships, affection is a sign of closeness. But in dog relationships, affection without purpose becomes background noise. And in some cases, it can even create confusion or anxiety. Imagine this. A person pets their dog whenever they walk past them in the house. A head rub here, a belly scratch there. It feels sweet. But to the dog, none of these touches are tied to behavior, timing, or emotion. It's just a hand appearing again and again. Eventually, that touch stops meaning anything. Or worse, the dog starts seeing it as an interruption. Many dogs will actually get up and walk away after a few seconds of random petting. Most people miss this cue. They think the dog is done cuddling, but in reality, the dog might have felt uncomfortable from the start. The key to understanding this is in the signals, and dogs are constantly giving them. Know the signs. How dogs say yes or no to petting. Unlike humans, dogs can't say, hey, I'm not really in the mood for that right now, but they do speak with their body. When a dog enjoys being touched, they'll lean into your hand. Their body will stay soft. The tail may wag slowly, and they might even sigh or blink slowly. But when a dog feels uneasy or overstimulated, they'll show it. Watch for these signs. Turning their head away, yawning, licking their lips, shifting their weight or trying to move away, tensing up or freezing, and lifting one paw slightly off the ground. These are all part of what behaviorists call calming signals. They're subtle ways dogs try to de-escalate a situation and say, I'm not feeling this, please stop. Most people completely miss these signals and keep petting. Over time, this teaches the dog two things. 1, humans don't listen, and 2, physical touch isn't safe. That's why some dogs that were fine being petted suddenly snap one day. It didn't come out of nowhere. It came from years of being ignored when they said no. Here's what trainers suggest instead. Ask for consent. That might sound silly, but it works. Let your dog approach you. Extend your hand calmly. If they stay, lean in or nuzzle, go ahead. If they turn their head or move away, respect it. Just like with people, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not forced closeness. And here's where things get really interesting. The wrong kind of petting can increase a dog's reactivity, especially in certain breeds. Some dogs are naturally more sensitive to touch. Breeds like Border Collies, Australian Shepherds, and Shiba Inus, for example, tend to be more aware of body language and energy. Petting them in the wrong way, especially too fast, too rough, or at the wrong time, can trigger agitation instead of comfort. Think about it like this. You wouldn't walk up to a person who's feeling anxious or overstimulated and start rubbing their shoulders, right? For some people, That would only make things worse. Dogs are the same way. Now imagine you've got a herding breed, bred for alertness and responsiveness. You come home from work, and they're already hyped up. You crouch down and start patting them excitedly while saying, "Who's a good boy? Who missed me?" Your intention is love, but the result? Overstimulation. And overstimulated dogs don't make good decisions. That's when they start jumping, barking, even nipping, all because the human unintentionally amplified the arousal state with the wrong kind of touch and tone. Where you touch your dog matters because of what it triggers in the brain. Recent studies in canine neuroscience show that different types of touch activate different parts of a dog's brain. Gentle stroking on the chest, for example, has been shown to lower the dog's heart rate and increase oxytocin, the bonding hormone also released between mothers and their babies. But fast tapping on the head, that can increase cortisol, a stress hormone. The difference is huge. You could literally be petting your dog into calm or into stress, depending on how and where you touch. This is why police canine handlers and service dog trainers are taught to reward with touch sparingly and intentionally. It keeps the meaning strong and prevents touch from becoming diluted. For pet owners, that means being more conscious. Instead of thinking, "How often can I pet my dog?" the better question is, "How can I make my touch meaningful?" And perhaps most importantly, petting should never be used to interrupt or distract, especially during fear or aggression. Here's a common mistake. A dog sees another dog, gets stiff, maybe starts barking. The owner, trying to calm them, reaches down to pet the dog and say, "It's okay, it's okay." But to the dog, this moment is not calm, it's tension. And now, you've just reinforced that state with affection. In this situation, touching your dog can be like hitting the save button on their fear. You're not calming them, you're validating the anxiety. The better move? Interrupt the state, redirect the dog's attention, and wait for calm. Then, and only then, offer praise, petting, or treats. The timing is everything. That's the secret most dog trainers wish every pet owner understood. Petting is not just love, it's communication. And like any communication, when done at the wrong time, it can send the wrong message. Stop petting your dog just because you want to, and start petting them in a way that they understand. Let them come to you. Avoid the head pats and go for the chest or side. Don't pet them when they're acting wild or anxious. Wait for calm behavior and reward that instead. It might feel weird at first. You might feel like you're being too strict. But give it a few days. Watch how your dog starts to change, how they look at you with more focus, how they settle down faster, how they start seeking affection in quieter, more respectful ways. You'll realize something powerful. You're not just training your dog, you're communicating with them in a language they finally understand. And that's what makes the difference between an okay relationship with your dog and a great one. So next time your dog jumps, barks, or demands attention, try this. Pause. Don't respond right away. Wait for them to calm down. Then give them your love. It'll feel different, but your dog will thank you for it. Not with words, but with trust. And that's the kind of love dogs really want. If this blew your mind, hit like and share this with another dog parent who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe. We've got more dog behavior myths to bust, and your dog will love you for it.